So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look back at some physical puppet media that I have in my collection. We'll be taking a look back at some classic childhood shows, programs, and movies that might bring back some childhood memories, and also showcasing to you what you could find at your local thrift store. So without further ado, what are we waiting for? Let's talk about it. So for the later part of last year going into this year, I've seen this non-stop growing trend on TikTok where people are getting tired of paying monthly for streaming services that don't have their favorite shows or movies. So a lot of people have canceled their subscriptions and decided to return back to buying physical media. That means DVDs and VHSs included. So that got me to thinking I have quite a collection that I could share with you guys, showcasing to you some of my rare puppet physical media, ranging from some things that I have found online, but most importantly, things that I've kind of just randomly found at thrift stores. This right here is not really rare. I mean, depending on where you go and where you find these, I feel like with Bear in the Big Blue House, I mean, it's very, or was a very, and I feel like still is a very popular show. It's of course streaming on Disney Plus, but as far as physical media goes, I'm pretty sure you can find these online anywhere, eBay, Mercari, any place. But as far as the thrift store, I have not found or seen a lot of these. They are rare finds as far as the thrift store goes. I don't know about your thrift store, maybe you find them on a regular basis. But where I'm at, I don't find these on a regular basis. So I actually have found these two at thrift stores, these two, Bear in the Big Blue House, Bear for All Seasons, and then Bear in the Big Blue House visiting the doctor with Bear. So very, very, very colorful cases, a lot of info on the back. Grew up with this show. And then this, of course, I did not find at a thrift store. This was right before the Disney Movie Club had closed. I ended up buying this offline. What I noticed about these DVDs is the one I've got from the Disney Movie Club at the time, it says Disney's Bear in the Big Blue House. And then this logo says Jim Henson's Bear in the Big Blue House. Now, I know Disney had, run and co-collab with the Jim Henson Company on this show. But noticing these, how it says Jim Henson's Bear in the Big Blue House, it might not even be a big thing. I'm probably making more of a big deal out of it than what it is. But I just noticed that it's interesting. It says Disney's Bear in the Big Blue House versus the actual, these DVDs that were released at the time. We have Scooby-Doo Adventures, The Mystery Map, an original puppet movie. One of the only Scooby-Doo puppet movies that I know of as far as current day. This is a very awesome little short movie and film. A bunch of Muppet performers also work and voice some of the characters in this little short. So very, very cool. I have not seen this at all. I remember in recent years going to the thrift store, I saw, glimpses of this maybe about 5 times going into different thrift stores, but as far as now seeing it back to back to back, I actually don't see it as much as I used to. I have Seymour's Playhouse. Pretty much what this independent show would do is show kids and teach kids about fire safety and just all around safety for kids. It is brought to you by the American Red Cross in support by them. Fran Drescher from The Nanny is a part of this as well. She also played a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, celebrity appearances by Fran Drescher and Joe Scott. So very cool that they make little cameo appearances in this little short series. And again, very educational, very fun and cool. A lot of memorable songs. And Seymour is a very awesome still. It kind of reminds me of a tie between Bear in the Big Blue House and I would say maybe The Book of Pooh. I ran across a lot of these Nick Jr. and Nickelodeon set type of DVDs where they would place a bunch of different shows like Dora, Wonder Pets, Blue's Clues, and a bunch of other, popular Nick Jr. shows at the time. They would have a theme. So this is like Sleepy Time Stories. So a DVD that you can play for your kids before they go to bed. And there's a bunch of there's a good collaboration of different shows on here. But as far as seeing a lot of the Jack's Big Music Show DVDs, I've actually not seen, I know they sell them, but I have not seen a Jack's Big Music Show DVD by itself. The first I saw at the time of just with him on it like this. So I definitely had to grab it, and a bunch of other memorable shows from my childhood on here, but was very happy to see that. So this is actually a fun find by my dad. We actually ended up finding the box. And to find the box itself, I mean, you can find these DVDs probably at several of your local thrift stores, but as far as trying to find the legit box that these DVDs would, come in, it's very rare. So to be able to find this box set with several of the DVDs inside, the only thing is that this says 4 through 6, or volume 4 to 6, and we notice CD inside is not correct. So it's the wrong CD inside. But that's kind of what you get when you go to a thrift store. You're not always going to find the correct stuff inside, which is kind of a bummer, but it kind of gives you a rundown here of what you're getting yourself into. When they were selling these box sets, when I was a little kid, going into like Target or Walmart, or even for a time, Toys R Us did the same thing. They sold there was a media aisle, and you could find stuff like this as well. And then it's funny because we even found the Nick Jr. Favorites 3. And what's very cool about this is, growing up, I watched Max and Ruby, Little Bill, Blue's Clues, of course Dora, The Backyardigans, but Lazy Town. If anybody remembers Lazy Town, very, very good show, very educational show, very colorful, different puppet characters as well in there, more realistic looking puppet characters, but to find that on DVD is rare and far between. So very cool to know that a Lazy Town episode is on here with Robbie Rotten and Sporticus and, you know, all the rest. So here are all my Blues Room DVDs. I actually just recently started finding more of these on our trips to local thrift stores near our area. Again, for some of you guys, this might not even be rare for you, but I have not, in my past travels, have not found a lot. Up till recently, I have not found a lot of these. So when you find these, I definitely recommend that you get them if you're a puppet collector, if you're a fan of Blue's Clues in general. I know this show had a very short run, and it didn't last long, but for what it was, I really enjoyed it. Blues Room World Travelers, Blues Room Shape Detectives, Blues Room It's Hug Day, Alphabet Power, Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. Different themed Blues Room shows, very fun and memorable. A lot of little fun things you can do on each of these DVDs. There's even some printables that you can download or could have downloaded at the time. I have not come across this again at all, so this is really cool to have in my collection. I always remember watching Ready, Set, Learn on the TLC channel, and then I know it moved to Discovery Kids, and I remember watching that back to back to back. Of course, we have Paz the Penguin, and if anybody remembers Paz, very awesome little show that he was a part of, Ready, Set, Learn. And then we have Wilbur, and then the Savums. I remember all these shows. I probably couldn't tell you exactly, like off of memory, what they all were about, but I do remember in my memory bank of my mind, small glimpses and memories of these shows. And Paz, to me, had a very, like, kazoo sounding voice. And I even covered where this puppet is. So if you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. I have not ran across a physical form of media of these 3 individual shows on my own, like on their own, let alone all together. And then like with these special bonus features and music videos, like at Hip Hop Harry, Wilbur, High Five, you know, like that's awesome. This is the insert that comes along with it. So this is the learning and activity guide. There's the Discovery Kids logo right there. And then there's Paz and all his friends. Ready, set, play, and read. Very cool that there's Paz and his mom, the puppet versions of them, kind of giving you a little rundown. You know, all the fun things that kids learn at the thrift store, but very cool, fun little creative activities that you could do. So I feel like I've explained this show ad nauseum on my channel, so apologies if you guys are seeing this again. But again, love this show growing up. The Book of Pooh, which was a Baraku puppet version of these awesome Winnie the Pooh characters, brought to you by Playhouse Disney. And I do know that you can also now stream this on Disney Plus as well. But very happy to have a physical copy of this, just in case Disney Plus loses their mind and decides to remove the show altogether. At least I have some type of form of still watching it. As you probably remember, this show, The Wubblest World of Dr. Seuss, brought to you by Jim Henson Home Entertainment. I've even discussed where these puppets are, so go check that video out if you have not seen it. But yeah, very happy to have this. This is actually from when I was a kid. Very cool, very colorful backing tails. And recently, I ended up finding these 2 at a local thrift store. The Wubblest World of Dr. Seuss, The Cat's Adventures. It's very, very cool. And then we have The Wubblest World of Dr. Seuss, The Cat's Fun House. I know technically these are not really rare, but as far as finding them anymore, I don't. I actually got these back when they sold these at Target a couple years ago, or a while now ago. Very cool to have the season 1 edition of The Muppet Show here. Have The Muppet Show season 2, and of course The Muppet Show season 3, and of course, as we all know, the controversial Muppet Show season 4 was supposed to have Gonzo on it, but Disney, whoever else, failed to release it at the time. I've seen this one in a thrift store before. These are all slip disc covers, I believe they're called. But what's cool about this, I don't know if you can see it, Fozzie actually has like a fuzz to his face. Flocked fuzzing on his face. There's a flocked fuzzing on Piggy's face. And Kermit doesn't have it, but very cool. But his face is on. There's his face on the inside there. Also, another classic show. Found these at my local thrift store. We have Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock, the complete first season. It's pretty cool to have this. And we have Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock, the complete final season. I'm pretty sure a bigger slip disc cover came with this, but I ended up finding this at my local thrift store. This is Dinosaurs, the complete first and second season, you know, not the mama and all that. With Baby Sinclair and the Sinclair family. So very happy to have that. Some bonus features on here. And then the Disney Movie Rewards Club released this. So very, very cool. Very happy to have this in the collection as well. Along with these. These I did not find at a local thrift store. These I actually bought from Target at the time when they had released the different ALF seasons. So very happy to have season 1 of ALF. And then very happy to have season 2 of ALF as well. Now, of course, there are many different Jim Henson documentaries, but this happens to be kind of tied with the Jim Henson Ideal Man documentary. I think that one is my favorite, and this also has to be my favorite. Henson's Place, The Man Behind the Muppets. Very, very good, well documented, and awesome to have on DVD as well. And of course, I'm a big fan of Jeff Dunham and all his cast of funny characters: Ahmed, Walter, Peanut, Jose Jalapeno, and Stick. So very cool to have Jeff Dunham control Chaos as well. I believe we bought this at Walmart, and this was actually at a thrift store. I really don't even see these a lot anymore, so if you can find these as well, I definitely recommend. But make sure that you have an adult, if you're a young kid, supervising or allowing you to watch his comedy. It's hilarious, it's funny, but yeah, just probably for an older audience. Harry Fader is the best. So very happy to have his performance from Las Vegas. I believe this is one of his first performances, because as you can see, Winston has definitely made a big change. He does not look like that anymore. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, this has been super rare and super hard to find in any thrift store or Goodwill or Savers or anything like that. So shout out to my dad for finding this. This is the official Jim Henson Home Entertainment Muppet Family Christmas movie. Very, very cool. Very cool to have all of the Jim Henson characters, along with Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock and the Muppets, being the main focal point. This is a very awesome movie. If you have not seen it, I definitely recommend that you go check it out on YouTube while it's still available. But very happy to have a VHS version of this. Happy to have the Jim Henson Christmas Toy VHS in my collection. Very awesome story. I know a lot of people say this isn't a rip-off of Toy Story. Toy Story, if anything, ripped this off. Very happy to have this as well. Sesame Street Elmo Saves Christmas VHS tape in my collection. All right, so next up we have this really cool and awesome double feature. Playhouse Disney 2-show DVD. We have Roly Poly Oly, A Spooky Ooky Halloween, and then we have The Book of Pooh, Just Say Boo, along with a bonus episode by Out of the Box, and a very fun little bonus features as well. And as far as holiday and seasonal stuff, here is Jeff Dunham's very special Christmas special, and happy to have this on DVD as well. Alright, so as you guys see, things are kind of stuffed in here, so it's kind of hard to take them out and then put them back in the way they're supposed to be. We have Meet Toby Terrier, which was a kids puppet-themed educational show as well, I believe back in the 80s, 90s. So I found this at a local thrift store, and I thought this is kind of cool just to also have on VHS. And of course, we have the classic, The Big Comfy Couch. How can you not remember this show? Or even if you didn't grow up with it, I definitely recommend you checking it out on YouTube. So very cool, very happy to have this on VHS, because again, I do not see this. Actually, I don't see this at all. It's a VHS version of The Adventures of Timmy the Tooth, Big Mouth Gulch. I remember growing up with this show. Puzzle Place. Very happy to have found this on VHS. Rip Van Winkle. There is the Tale of the Bunny Picnic. I have it right there. Very awesome, very cool. And unfortunately, I would have to move all this just to grab this tape. But remember that, starring Bean Bunny as well. I do not see that at all anymore inside any thrift store again. Sorry, it's so dark. I have several different The Adventures of Timmy the Tooth VHS tapes. We have Timmy in Space, Adventures of Timmy the Tooth, Molar Island, Adventures of Timmy the Tooth, Rainy Day Adventure. Oh wait, there's more. We have The Adventures of Timmy the Tooth, The Brush in the Stone. What's really cool is we actually ended up finding a VHS tape with the inserts, so it's very rare to find. You can find a lot of VHS tapes at your local thrift store, but to find these inserts, they're like little, moments in time that are very cool. Of course, I remember growing up with this movie, The Little Rascals. You get these really awesome The Adventure of Timmy the Tooth stickers. You get Bubbles, Sunny, Emmett, Timmy the Tooth, Cavity Goon, Brush, and you pretty much, that's not all the characters, but a good majority. And again, to find these within a VHS tape is pretty rare. Finding these have been also super rare. Here's a different version of It's the Muppets. There's Miss Piggy, Kermit, Gonzo, The Electric Mayhem. Finding this again was pretty rare, so happy to have this in the collection as well. I've never found before is this sing-along Muppet Treasure Island version. Very cool and very happy to have found this at my local thrift store, so I have not seen this before at all. Now, as far as why I'm not showing a lot of Muppet movies, my multiple journeys to any thrift store or antique store or whatever, you can always find these. You can always find the original Muppet movie. You can always find the Great Muppet Caper. You can always find Muppet Christmas Carol, and so forth and so on and so on. Now, as far as the one that I haven't found a lot of, that I used to find a lot of, is a Muppet Classic Theater. And this, if you have not seen this, this is hilarious and awesome. I definitely recommend you go check it out on YouTube, if it's still available, but very, very cool. The Muppets do a great job at retelling some classic fairy tale stories, of course, in their own little way. Here's another one that I don't find too often, and this is the Jim Henson video, The Frog Prince. It's actually not bad. Pretty funny. Hey, Cinderella! This is another early Jim Henson video production. It's a VHS. Bear in the Big Blue House. Features Friends for Life plus The Big Little Visitor. I just found this at a local thrift store. And again, when I run across these, if you find them, grab them while you can. Potty Time with Bear. And of course, we have very similar Stories from the Heart, The Book of Pooh, but this is a VHS version. And we ended up finding these at several thrift stores as well. Fun with Friends, Fun with Words, A Valentine for Eeyore, Thank You, You're Welcome, Fun with Manners. Running across this is pretty cool. This is the Muppets Take Manhattan. My dad actually ended up finding this, and I almost ended up passing this up because it was, it's a black VHS. The Muppets Take Manhattan on VHS, and especially with this VHS tape right here. Very cool. There's Piggy and Kermit getting married from the movie. End up finding at my local thrift store was all these, the best of the Muppet Show. So also I found this at a local thrift store. I have not seen this since then, so very happy that I got it when I did. This is the Dinosaurs series, but it's on VHS. Leave me a comment below letting me know what was your favorite puppet physical form of media that I showcased in today's video. It could have been a DVD, it could have been a VHS. I would love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments below. Hey, thanks so much for watching this fun, awesome puppet related video. I hope you learned a lot, and if you liked it, please do me a favor and go check out the next one right here on the screen. Kermit and I think you will enjoy it, and we'll see you over there. Until next time, take care, and well, have an awesome day.